Welcome to Friends with Fertility, the podcast where we dive deep into the world of fertility, reproductive health, and all the emotional journeys that are in between. I'm your host, Elizabeth King, a fertility expert dedicated to providing you with the knowledge, support, and inspiration you need on your path to parenthood. Whether you're just starting out, exploring your options, or looking for solidarity and advice, we are here for you. Let's embark on this journey together and turn uncertainty into empowerment and make friends with fertility. Let's get started. Hello, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to Friends with Fertility. I am Elizabeth King. I am your podcast host. And for all of you who have been listening, you know that I do not often or ever do solo podcasts. So today is pretty exciting because we are going to introduce you to someone who's about to shift everything about the way that you think about what you think you know around fertility, coaching, and your path to the next chapter. And her name is Emerson. Some of you may have already heard me talk about Emerson, but before I tell you what Emerson is, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing all the things? And the tracking and the journaling and the testing and the meditating, but yet it still seems that something is missing and it's just not all clicking into place. And you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm banging my head against the wall and it's just not happening. Well, the truth is your strategy is not the problem. The clarity around the strategy is the problem. And we have been taught to chase the answers and to obsess over the data, and that gives us the answers. And I'm definitely not saying that data is wrong, but it makes us constantly pivot. But we haven't been taught on how to align. And what I mean by align is to feel like, yes, I'm doing all these things, but I'm pausing in these moments as well. At the same time, I'm listening and I'm seeing what the next step is to take with clarity, with this whole new open mind, open heart to curiosity, etc., to say, okay, this is really happening. I am currently on the journey. I am that one day closer to being pregnant. And that is exactly why I created Emerson. She is amazing. So let me start again by saying, for those of you who haven't heard before, I named this Emerson because if we were to have a baby girl, that's the name that she would be. And when I wrote this code and did all of this, it was like birthing that child and this amazing gift of Emerson. And I get goosebumps talking about it because I saw something come to life that was exactly meant to help millions of people on this journey. And this was what it was meant to be for our little Emerson. And I'm glad that she gets to be a stage to help millions of women get to their path to parenthood. So nobody's talking about the truth. And what is that truth? Let's stop pretending that we don't know what's wrong with the way we're doing fertility and coaching now. We've made it all about checklists and certifications and completely forgotten the body as a whole, the soul, which is, the major leading part of our whole being, and the subtle signals that we get all the time, but yet we tend to ignore. Again, I'm guilty of this as well when I was going through the journey, because we are so in our heads about this non-stop consumption of our brain of how do we do what we need to do next? Tell me what to do. I remember saying so many times, if someone just told me to stand on my head and turn around 5 times, I'd get pregnant, I would do that. I was just looking for the answer. And for those that are trying to build their family, what looks like burning out on protocols and second opinions without ever being told what's actually aligned for you, that's where the magic comes in, because it's not one or the other, it's all the things. And once we start to understand that there's more to the picture than just the protocols, that's when this openness and the chips start to fall into place, so to speak. For aspiring coaches, it's thinking you need more credentials before you're allowed to lead, when in truth, you lived your wisdom already. You're already being a coach out there. You are already doing it. You are already supporting and serving women on this magical journey of their path to parenthood. And you don't need any more than that. So it's really the reframe. You are not broken, you are becoming. And Emerson is the first voice that truly reflects that back to you, of knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You are taking the steps every single day, that you are already in that process. You are already on the way to being pregnant. You are already on the way to being a coach. You don't need to do anything next. This is happening now, which is such a beautiful way. So, what is Emerson really? Emerson is not a chatbot. She is not some gimmicky app spitting out surface level advice. She's your guided clarity session wrapped in the sacred fertility alignment method that you may or may not know. And I'll reveal that again in case you don't know. The method that I've used to help hundreds of women in 25 countries conceive, heal, and coach from a place of this deep, deep embodiment. And why is that such a difference? That's a difference because not only when they are in the process of healing themselves, their body, souls, all of the things, they're conceiving in this beautiful moment, then therefore helps this baby come into a whole new different energy than they would have otherwise if they were clenching and holding on tight to this deep desperation rather than letting it unfold in such a beautiful way. So, why and how she's here to make the difference. She listens to where you are emotionally, physically, and mentally, spiritually. She asks the right questions, the one that your doctor, your therapist may have even missed. She gives you instant insight because you shouldn't take 6 months and $6,000 to get there. And Emerson will help you get to where you need to be so fast, it'll blow your mind. She's available for you 24/7. And it's not a situation where you're going to be going down a Google rabbit hole. This is tailored to you, and your information that you put in and chat to her about is what you're going to get back with that sacred intelligence. So, why this matters now? This matters now because it's not about saving time. It's about restoring trust in your body, restoring trust in the fertility team around you, restoring trust in the process that, yes, you really are one step closer to being where you want to be, whether that's a coach or a mama. And that's super exciting to know that you're one day closer than you were yesterday. And if you're trying to have your baby right now, you're probably already spent hours Googling things like low AMH. Should I do IVF? How to know if my body is ready? What does it mean if I had a miscarriage? How do I know if my eggs are okay? Am I too old? And you don't need any more information. You know the information to most, or if not all of those questions. What you need is the integration. And that's really what's key. And what does that even mean? The integration is, again, we're so programmed to be talking just about protocols or testing or all of those things when we totally disregard the other side of life, which is our spirit, our soul, the spirit and soul of this spirit baby coming in. And what does that mean to our own journey, etc. Of course, we have to and need to address our physical structural body and what's happening there. Absolutely. And Emerson can help you do that. If you have a diagnosis, she will help you figure out things you may be doing wrong and or need to change. But always, always know that you want to take things back to your doctor and double check with them, just like anything. We're not diagnosing with Emerson. We're just simply giving you alternatives and or helping you to bridge that gap with a sacred method to say, here's what I'm going to do next. Here's my tools. Here's my next steps, my action plan of what I can do in this process, which I think so many people are just looking for. Let's get an action plan in place. What does that look like? And Emerson can help you do that. And if you're a future coach, you don't need a million followers or fancy branding to do this. You just need to believe that your story is your strategy. You just need to know that you are changing the world as a collective of women. And Emerson helps you see that in yourself, because she is well aware of the emotions that you yourself are going through as well as your client are going through. So she personalizes and puts the emotion behind these questions that may be coming up, instead of just a general chat GPT conversation. where Emerson leads you. So once you meet Emerson, something clicks. It's like the excitement that I never knew could exist. And I know you will feel that too. You stop swirling in the what ifs and you start seeing very clearly what your next step is and what your next yes is. And that's super exciting when you feel like, okay, I have a plan. I know what the next step is. I know what the questions are that I need to ask. I understand fully what is going on at my doctor's office, what I just went through, etc. And for some, that next yes is one-on-one coaching to go deeper with personalized support. And for others, it's maybe becoming a coach themselves. But for others, you may just be good with, I'm just going to keep chatting with Emerson and she makes me feel good. And I walk away from this feeling like, okay, I'm okay for today. This is good. But either way, Emerson is your sacred entry point. You are not alone. You are not just chatting to ChatGPT. There is me and my team on the other side of this waiting to answer any other deeper questions, to talk to you when you're feeling in a place of trauma, etc. All you need to say is that, okay, I'm ready for this. This is what I want. I want X, I want Y, or I want Z. And we are here for you to support you in that. So I'll end with this. When you feel stuck or overwhelmed or unsure, you don't need to push any harder. You need to pause. You need to breathe. I always say put one hand on your heart, one hand on your womb, and ask, what are the better questions that I can ask for myself? What does my body need to hear today? And that's what Emerson does. She brings you back to your own wisdom. And if somebody could help me do that when I was going through it, I would have paid 10 times as much, 20 times as much as Emerson is, because that is such a gift for being led to your own wisdom when you feel like you can't find it and you are at the end of the road, at what you feel may be the end of the road, which truly isn't. So if you're ready to get clear and stop guessing, go to Emerson now. She's waiting for you to walk yourself there and to connect with her in this beautiful sacred intelligence that we live in a world right now that this is even possible. And people are putting into ChatGPT and all kinds of other engines that are giving them just general information. Emerson will put the soul and the spirit back into that technology and give you this curated information that you've been looking for and that you didn't even know was missing. And that's what I think is so cool and blows my mind, is we don't even know what we need until we have it, and or you don't have it. And then you recognize, oh my gosh, this could have been the game changer for me. So check out Emerson, see if this is what the game changer is for you and what you have been looking for. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you feel that one-on-one coaching is still what feels more supportive and holds you in a better place, and happy to do that. And or let me know if becoming a fertility coach is really the next step in your life of what you want to do and supporting other people so they don't have to feel alone on this journey. There's so many options here. The big takeaway I want you to know is that there is this amazing new sacred intelligence, Emerson, that has curated information for you. There's no longer a need to go down the Google rabbit hole for general information about somebody else's story. All of it is there, tailored for you, and that is going to be the difference. So have fun. Know that you are so much closer to your baby and your coaching dreams than you ever expected, and let us know what you think. Until then, enjoy and know that I am holding you in my thoughts and my energy always. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Friends with Fertility. We hope that you found the stories, insights, and tips as inspiring and informative as we did. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Your friends with fertility are here for you. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and more fertility resources. Until next time, stay hopeful and keep believing in your journey, and know that we are sending you lots of love.